So we're going to be making the Eccleshill bookmark. You're going to want to take all 8 of your 80cm pieces of cord and line up the ends. Then take your 0.5 meter cord, you're going to lay it over the top of those and then form a loop at the bottom. So you should have one short end and one long end. You're then going to take the long end and you're going to wrap it around all of the cords, bring it over the front of the other end. We're going to wrap that round. You're going to do 6 full wraps, and then on the 7th it'll just come round to the front and not go over the loop. Okay, so there's our 7th. So it's not coming over the loop. Instead, we're going to pull the end through that loop. Okay, you're now going to find the other end of that and give it a pull, and that's going to pull the loop up inside the wrap that you've just created. I'm going to give it a good tug until you see that disappear inside. Now trim the ends, but you just want to trim the ends of the cord you've used to make the wrap. We want to leave the other ends there as a nice fringe. Okay, now you can take the end of your scissors and just push the bits that you've cut up inside the wrap just to make it look a little bit tidier. Okay, and there's your completed wrap knot. So now you can clip your wrap knot onto your clipboard and then separate those cords so you've got 2 groups of 2 on each side and 4 cords left in the centre. We're going to use those 4 cords to tie a square knot. So take the left one from that group and lay it over the 2 middle ones. Then bring the right cord over the top of that and then behind everything with the end. You want to pull that tight and push that right up underneath your wrap knot. That's the first half of the square knot. To complete the square knot, we're now going to do that again with the other side. Create your loop on the right this time. Bring the left cord over the top and then behind everything. You pull that tight and that's a complete square knot. We're now going to do a row underneath that one, but your next row is going to have 2 square knots. So you want to separate the cords you've just used. The 2 on the left will join with your other 2 left cords, the 2 on the right join with your other 2 right cords. We're going to start on the left, so use your most left cord to create a loop over the top of the 2 centre cords, and then bring the right cord from that group over the top of the cord you made a loop with, and then behind everything. You want to pull that tight and make sure that that's underneath the square knot you just tied. You don't want to pull it too tight because you don't want it to go wonky. Now finish the square knot by making a loop with the right, bring the left cord over the top and then underneath everything. Pull that nice and tight. That's your first square knot on the second row. You can now move these cords out of the way. Gather your other 4 cords, make sure they're all laying nice and flat. And again, you're going to tie a square knot by making a loop on the left first, then bringing your right cord over the top of that end, and then taking it behind everything else and pulling it through that loop. Make that nice and tight. And then make your next loop with the cord on the right, bring the left one over the top and then behind everything and pull it through that loop. So that's your second row of your bookmark completed. The first row has 1 square knot, the second row is 2 square knots. And we're going to continue that through the bookmark, doing a row of 1, a row of 2, a row of 1, a row of 2, and so on. So now we're going back to making a row of 1. We've moved the end 2 chords on each end off to the side, and we're using them centre 4 chords again to tie another square knot. Make that nice and tight underneath your last row. When you've finished your bookmark, you should have 11 rows of 1 square knot and 10 rows of 2 square knots. So now you've finished your bookmark, we're going to join these ends together with another wrap knot like you did at the beginning. So you're going to take your other 0.5 metre cord, lay it over all of them and make a loop. Then holding all of those together, once again you're going to wrap it around everything 7 times, but it's not going to be a full wrap on the 7th. Okay, so that 7th one, we're going to pull the end through the loop, grab hold of that, and then give the top cord a good tug until that loop disappears inside the wrap. And you're going to trim your ends. Again, we're just trimming the ends from the wrap knot. At the bottom one, you can just leave that to blend in with all of your other bits of tail. And you're going to trim all of those to 2 centimetres. And there you go, here's your completed bookmark.